This wasn't just betrayal, this was double life. And today's story, the title of this one is The Problem Wasn't That He Was in My House. The problem was that every system I checked, he wasn't real. Another story with your host, Alistair. Real lives, real stories, real cheating. Let's move on.
The problem wasn't that he was in my house. The problem was that every system I checked said he wasn't real. That was the moment Adrian knew his marriage was in danger. It was 2:14 a.m. The house was quiet in that heavy way that only comes when someone is pretending to sleep. The soft hum of the fridge, the tick of the hallway clock, the shallow breath beside him in the bed. And yet Adrian felt watched, not by cameras, not by screens, but by silence. He stared at the ceiling, his mind running like code that refused to stop. Years in cybersecurity had trained him to trust patterns, and lately the pattern in his own home felt wrong. Earlier that evening, his wife, Lena, had stood in the kitchen with her arms crossed too tight, smiling too fast. He was just staying for a bit, she said. Family helps family. That was the first lie. Because when Lena lied, she avoided details, and tonight she had avoided everything. The man she called Evan sat on their couch like he belonged there, calm, polite, way too polite. He laughed at the right times but never spoke unless spoken to. His eyes scanned the room the way Adrian scanned networks, looking for weaknesses. Adrian noticed things others wouldn't. Evan never used his phone near them, never checked messages, never took photos. In a world addicted to screens, that alone was strange. Now in the dark, Adrian turned his head slowly. Lena lay on her side, back to him. Her hand rested near the edge of the bed, fingers tense even in sleep. He wanted to reach for her. He didn't. Instead, he slipped out of the bed and moved to his home office. The room smelled like dust and old coffee. Screens woke up as he touched the mouse. Soft blue light filled the space, cold and honest. Adrian didn't start with Evan. He started with love. He pulled up shared bank accounts, nothing obvious. Then transaction logs. A delay here and there, a repeat here, a repeat there. Just tiny things, almost invisible. Almost, he whispered to himself, half joking, half tired. Show me what you're hiding. He searched public records, social platforms, old data leaks. Evan Hart, age 36, no digital childhood, no school photos, no tagged memories, a man with no past. Adrian leaned back, slowly and slowly. That's when the fear arrived, not loud, not sharp, but quiet, the kind that sits in your chest and waits. Behind him, the floor cracked. Adrian turned. Evan stood in the doorway. I couldn't sleep, Evan said calmly. Mind if I get some water? Their eyes met. For a second, neither moved. Kitchen's that way, Adrian said, pointing. Evan nodded and left. Adrian's heart beat faster, not because Evan scared him, because Evan wasn't confused. People who lie usually are. The next day, Lena acted softer. Too soft. She touched Adrian's arm while he made coffee, kissed his cheek longer than usual. You're quiet, she said. So are you, Adrian replied gently. She smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. That evening, they sat on opposite ends of the couch. Evan watched TV. Though it was muted, Lena leaned close to Adrian, whispering, Can we talk later? About what? Adrian asked. Us. The word felt heavy. Later never came. Instead, Adrian stayed awake again. This time he went deeper. He followed money, small amounts, spread wide, always moving, always changing names. One account led to another, then another one. and another one, and then nothing. A wall. Someone had built it carefully. Adrian smiled sadly. Smart, he whispered, but not smart enough. He cracked through. What he found wasn't a person, it was a pattern, a mask. Evan Hart was not a man. He was a name used to move money, online investments, fake platforms, quiet losses, and all of it connected to Lena. Adrian's hands trembled, not with anger, but with heartbreak. He remembered how they met late nights, shared dreams, slow kisses in the rain, the way she used to rest her head on his chest and say, You make me feel safe. He had believed that love meant honesty. He was wrong. When he returned to the bedroom, Lena was awake. She sat up, eyes wide. Adrian? She said softly, You're scaring me. He sat on the edge of the bed. Who is Evan? He asked. She swallowed. He's. No, Adrian said gently. He's not. Silence fell between them like glass. Tears filled down her eyes, but she didn't cry. Not yet. Not just yet. I didn't touch anyone, she whispered. I swear, that's not what hurts, Adrian said. He looked at the woman he loved. The stranger thing is, he didn't know. He didn't know her. You don't cheat. You didn't cheat on my body, he said quietly. You cheated on my trust. Lena broke then. Her shoulders shook. Her voice cracked. I was drowning, she said. And I didn't know how to tell you. Adrian closed his eyes because the man in his house had never existed. But the lie had been sleeping beside him for years, and that was the most dangerous thing of all. Adrian didn't confront Lena right away. That hurt more than shouting would have. He moved through the house like a guest in his own life, smiling when needed, speaking when required, watching everything. Trust, he knew, didn't break in one loud moment. It leaked. Evan stayed quiet, always polite, always distant. He cleaned his cup, folded his blanket, never left a trace. Too perfect. Adrian watched Lena carefully. She avoided eye contact when Evan was near. Her laughter sounded practiced. At night, she turned away from Adrian, pretending sleep came easily. It didn't. One evening, Adrian cooked dinner. Pasta, her favorite. She used to tease him about overcooking it. Now she just said, Thank you. The distance between those two words felt wider than the table. Later that night, Adrian returned to his screens. He traced timelines, dates, late night logins, hidden email accounts. He found one, not under the name, under Evans. The messages weren't romantic, no love notes, no desire. They were desperate, just one more chance. I can fix this. Please don't shut it down. Adrian leaned back, his chest tight. This wasn't an affair of bodies, it was an affair of fear. Lena had been talking to shadows, moving money into lies, hoping the next click would save her from drowning. And she never told him. That night, Adrian reached for her in bed. She froze. That pause said everything. The truth came out on a rainy afternoon. Evan was gone, just like that. No goodbyes, no bag left behind. Lena stood by the window, staring at the street. He's not coming back, she said. He was never here. Adrian replied. She turned slowly. Her face collapsed. I didn't know how to stop, she whispered. It started small, just numbers. Then it became panic. She confessed everything, the fake platforms, the borrowed identity, the alias she created to move money without being seen. I didn't want you to see me fail, she said. You're so calm, so smart. I didn't want to be less. Adrian felt the weight of every word. You don't lie to protect me, he said. You lied because you didn't trust me with your fear. That hurt her more than anger would have ever done anything. They cried together, quietly, not holding each other, just sitting on opposite sides of the truth. Love was still there, but it was bruised. Weeks passed. The house felt empty without Evan, yet heavier than before. Adrian helped fix the damage. He closed accounts, reported fraud, built firewalls, not just online, but emotional ones too. Lena watched him do it. You're still helping me, she said one night. I'm helping the woman I married, Adrian replied. Not the lies she hid behind. They tried to touch again, slowly, awkwardly, like learning a new language with the same mouth. Some nights were tender, others silent. They laughed once over a stupid joke about password and secrets. Yes, honesty is the strongest encryption, Lena said weakly. Adrian smiled. It was sad, but real. Healing wasn't loud, it was work. The final conversation came at dawn. Sunlight spilled into the room, soft and unforgiving. I don't know if love is enough, Lena said. Adrian looked at her, truly looked. Love isn't the problem, he said. Silence is. He took her hands. If we stay, he continued, it won't be because we forgot. It will be because we chose truth every day. Tears ran down her face. I chose you, she whispered. Adrian breathed deeply. So do I, he said, but never the lie. They held each other as the sun rose. No secrets, no masks, just two flawed people standing in the open. Because the most dangerous betrayal isn't the one that touches the body, it's the one that rewrites reality while you're still in love. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing because some lies don't scream, they quietly log in and change everything.